Hey guys, it is Blair here, and I am going to be doing a review on One Out by Monica McInerney. I cannot pronounce her name, but I love her writing. So this book is about 150 pages, and it is a novel. Yes, it is a very short one. The font is pretty decent. I love the cover, which is another reason why I actually just love her covers as well. As her writing, I've started to read a lot of her books. I picked up some more, which I'll probably do a haul at some point, and I got some library books as well. This is the only one I could find at my local library, so I picked it up. So let me just tell you about the status quo. The status quo is Sylvie is I guess you can say it, the odd one out in a family full of artists, jewellery makers, painters, I think the fashion designer, and some actors and things like that. So she's the odd one out. So pretty much she left her job to come work for her mother, who really doesn't give a shit about her. Like, I guess deep down that she does love her children, but she's too self-absorbed, and so are her sisters, which you'll learn in the book are nicknamed Heckle and Jekyll by Sylvie's brother Sebastian. Sebastian is pretty much the only person, aside from the crazy kooky great aunt Mildred, I think her name is Mill. Those two are pretty much the only people in her family who really listen to her and really care. And you find out why they were separated, and why her mother is kind of the way she is in some ways. But it's mainly about Sylvie's journey through becoming her own person, and she is pretty much a lapdog for her mother. Her mother walks away, and so do her sisters, and it's kind of disheartening. And she's got it inbred in her mind that she's supposed to look after these people, and she has a job of her own as well. Well, she did have a job of her own, and so she dedicates herself to taking care of people who really just don't appreciate her whatsoever. So, at a wedding, her brother Sebastian comes down, and he offers her a trial run to live in Melbourne for a while, because this is based in Australia and she lives in Sydney. So at first she's a little bit hesitant, and also at the wedding, Aunt Mill asks her to come live with her. She doesn't want to leave her family at all. She knows that they'll pretty much fall to pieces. Or she thinks they'll fall to pieces, but really the truth is that they can pick up anyone else. It didn't have to be her. They don't appreciate her, so they can just get another person in anyway. So she decides to go there, and this book is pretty much about her experience starting fresh, and the people she meets, the love interest, the family. She also gets to meet her father and finds out about him. And as you will learn in the story, they are pretty much estranged from each other. And it was really great. I really liked that. I really enjoyed this story. It did take me a few days to read, but that's because I was really enjoying it, and I wanted to get as much enjoyment out of it as possible. Sorry, I'm very tired. I've been reading this book way too late into the morning. So, as for characters, I absolutely loved pretty much every character, even though there were some that you just didn't like. Obviously, her family is just some people you just want to punch. But I love Sebastian. He reminds me so much of my younger brother. And nearing the end, the story hit pretty close to home with the father and son relationship and father and daughter relationship. So I felt myself getting even more attached to the story because it was just so realistic. She just writes these beautifully rich stories that could happen to anyone, but the way that she writes them makes them so fascinating. And as you can see over here, there are books, and yes, books play a big part in this story. I wouldn't say a big part actually, I say a small part, but it brings her out of her comfort zone. And this little game that Sebastian invented when she was a child reoccurs in her adult life, and it's really fun and quirky, and you know, it's one of those novels that you can sit there with a nice cup of tea in any weather and just really, really enjoy it, and I really did. It's a 5-star book for me. Yeah. Plot-wise, thick, very thick. There was complications, obviously, and they were all interwoven perfectly for me. There was the right amount of sort of romantic elements, platonic elements, family elements like issues and stuff, and there was this one scene to do with work as well that just it pressed my button, something chronic, and I just wanted to punch the person and strangle her for treating her like this. And I know that people get treated like that, which is why again I appreciate this book even more, because she brings topics that you know, are often not talked about or just placed aside, and you know, I'm really glad that she stood up for herself. When you read this book, you understand why she finds it hard to stick up for herself, and when she finally does, it is so satisfying as a reader that I just love Sylvie even more. Sorry. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I do have a review on my blog, as always, and I'm reading another one of her books right now, so I'm also reading another a very short 100-page novel as well. It's a little bit iffy, so you could probably expect to have that one up before the new one by Monica McInerney. But if you are into, I've heard she's very similar to Maeve Binchy. I've never read anything of Maeve Binchy's novels or anything like that, but if you have, or Penny have heard of anything like that, I suggest you pick up this, I guess, if you like that sort of stuff. It's I think it's contemporary. It wouldn't be chick lit, it's contemporary. So yeah. So thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry about my cat showing her butt to you guys, because that's just so inappropriate. She has no manners. She really doesn't. So here she comes again. Okay, bye guys.